what I'm going to focus on tonight is this one. Again, this was in a clearance sale. Many of the sort of trained modelers in the UK know that the Hornby uncoupling rail or uncoupling device. In fact, I'll bring one into the shot here. This is similar. This is actually this is made by Daypol, I think, this one. But the tabs here on the side, which fit in between the sleepers, and they're supposed to slot into a small gap in the rail. Even these ones, to be honest, don't work particularly well. I don't have a Hornby one to show you, quite frankly, because they don't work. No wonder Hornby lost money in the last financial year, making products that don't fit. So this is a very old uncoupling ramp rail, single straight rail. You can see it's rather dirty, and you can see underneath here it says Hornby, and back in the good old days these rails were made in Austria, so that probably means that it's a steel rail and it's not nickel plated. But it's so difficult to get into the gaps here. There's so much I'll use the word stew on here I need to get rid of. So I think, I mean, IPA is going to play a part in this, but I think the best way to tackle this is warm soapy water, dry it off, and then IPA the rails. That's what my brain's telling me at the moment. But as a small miniature project, let's see what sort of results we can get with this. These things were so cheap. This was less than £1. This to buy the new Hornby one now is at least £10, I would think. Anyway, I'll come back to you once it's had a bit of a wash. Okay, so back to the rail after a wash in the sink with some hot water and soap and an old brush, and the plastic part of it's come up quite well. Obviously the rail hasn't been touched yet and it's still pretty black, so that's the next part I'm going to work on, but so far so good. I'm quite pleased with that. I'll have a look underneath, although you wouldn't see that on the railroad, but again, yeah, it's washed up quite well, especially for something that's I would guess this is about close to 50 years old, plus or minus a couple of years maybe. But yeah, so we're going to use IPA on the rail sections. If you are a younger modeler, you can always ask an adult to give you a hand with cleaning using IPA, because it's really something that only adults should be using because of the fumes and etc, etc. So yeah, I'll come back to you once maybe we're halfway through. But the IPA, just for your information, I keep it in a sort of jam jar. I've got a red dot on this one to tell me this is a one for cleaning, and I have another one way over, 2 yellow dots. This one is for as a cleaning solution, so I can drop parts in there like brushes and springs and stuff like that for a period of time to get any dirt to loosen and come off. But this is the one I'm going to be using. This is just cotton bud in there and straight onto the rail. So I'll bring you back halfway through. Okay, so these are the brushes. I eventually found them in my toolbox, mixed in with other things. Anyway, the one that gets a lot of airing is this one here, the fiberglass pen, which is fantastic for cleaning the model train wheels, con rods, the armature. It's fantastic. It really, I would highly recommend, if you don't have a fiberglass pen, to get one. They are tremendous. I haven't really used these other two. This is a brass bristle pen, and this is steel. You see it now, steel. So yeah, I think I'll work my way back. I think I'll start with the steel, go with brass, and then down to the fiberglass. Yeah, let's see. I'll try the steel, and then I'll come back to you. Duraglit residue, just to tidy it up. I'll put some fish plates on it, stick it onto the track, and I'll bring you back, and we'll see if it's going to work. I have to keep my fingers crossed, because I'm not sure if this relic is going to be that great. Okay, so I've cleaned the second rail. I've removed which was a left-hand point or left-hand turnout, if you're from America. I've removed that because most of the track sections I've got are like double or longer sections, especially on the straights. There's not many single sections, so this was the easiest one, just to remove the left hand point and put this one in here. So, and even cleaning it, well, let's just say it's got a bit of a weathered look to it. Right, so let's do the trials. I've done some trials off camera, so I know the success rate or not of this. Anyway, I can now share it with you. So we have a Lima shunter up the coast there, and she's going to reverse down towards this point. Lights on. She's on the way. And she did it. So, but let's do it a little bit slowly. Yep, definite slow down now. Yeah, and if we do it really slow, it doesn't like it. Okay, let me try another locomotive. Okay, so she is ready to take this scientific test. Let's see how she gets on. It made it, but there was a slowdown. Yeah. I liken it to a car going through a water splash. This is a bit how it is. Okay, let's give this LMS let me just boost up the speed. I'm going to go around at a fair click this time and see how it gets on. You can hear it, it's like a water splash. One more time. Okay, let's just reverse closer back. I'll try and get it to go a bit slower. So, what do I think of this uncoupling ramp by Hornby? Well, I think essentially, if you bought a brand new one with the nickel-plated rails, it's probably fantastic. But this one being really old, and a lot of grime, etc. I mean, I've tried to clean it up as best I can, but I remember in my childhood on my train set continually trying to keep the steel rails clean. It was a thankless job. It really was very, very difficult. So in terms of function, does it work? Yes, but it's not far from perfect. Far from perfect. I think the best thing to do, my advice would be, by the way, I had to add a couple of fish plates. I keep them in this little tin here, R620 fish plates. So those are the connecting parts to the rail. My advice would be to use a uncoupling ramp. This is a Hornby one, which, as I said earlier in the video, it doesn't work. I mean, it works this way, the functions, but the fitting, these lugs are the wrong size. Nice one, Hornby. So a friend of mine, he had what he did was he cut these lugs off and then glued the section into a single piece of track. I think it's a R601. I'm sure people would know offhand, but the single straight, and that seemed to work perfectly for him. So that would remove the slowdown that we're seeing with this, unless you want to splash out and buy the brand new one, which I would imagine doesn't have a slowdown. But otherwise, if you have some of these ramps, and like me, they don't fit, cut the lugs off, fit them in, and you'll be away. So I hope you enjoyed that little scientific experiment with this Austrian steel rail. It does work. I'll probably put it in one of the freight yards where it doesn't see much traffic, and you know, if I'm just uncoupling some wagons there, then it'll be absolutely fine for that purpose. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.